get some real attention right now and give you the most important highlights. Saudi Arabia and Iran, Sunni and Shiite Muslim, are sworn enemies. They hate each other. And yet China just brokered a peace deal between them. Yes, China did that. Not the United States and bumbling Joe Biden. China brokered a Saudi-Iran peace deal. Let that sink in. And then this week, Saudi Arabia openly talking about settling their oil trades in the Chinese currency yuan. This would replace the US dollar. This, my friends, is the biggest story in the world. So let me repeat that. They would replace the petrodollar, the US dollar that we use as a hammer to sanction any country we like. If the US doesn't like you and wants to sanction you, they can, because if you want oil, you'll need to pay with US dollars, settle that transaction in US dollars. So this is all about to change. It's not hyperbole to say that this will change everything. Imagine if the US can't threaten you with dollars anymore. All they have left are weapons, and there's nothing more dangerous than a person losing power. You're witnessing it in real time. But if you need more news from this week, Saudi Arabia and Iran and Mexico all getting ready to join the BRICS alliance. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And we already know, we've covered this on the show. Right after Mexico made this announcement, the U.S. started talking about invading Mexico with military forces to stop the drug cartels.
I'm going to introduce legislation, Jesse, to make certain Mexican drug cartels foreign terrorist organizations under U.S. law, and set the stage to use military force if necessary to protect America from being poisoned by things coming out of Mexico. They're at war with you. You need to be at war with them. I can't think of a better use of our military than to blow up labs in Mexico.
They think we're stupid. Lindsey Graham, Senator Lindsey Graham, doesn't give a rat's ass about drug cartels. They only care about Mexico joining BRICS. That's it. That's what this was about. And this week, Mexican President Obrador fired back, basically called Biden and Congress a bunch of idiots for provoking a war in Russia and talking about invading Mexico. So what does all of this mean? Well, it would mean that if all of the major oil-producing countries in the world become part of the same alliance, it would mean that half of the entire population of the globe would be on the same team, using a Chinese and Russian oil infrastructure that's tied to oil and gold, and no longer to the US dollar.
Mysterious fibrous clots are showing up inside people who have recently died. Some embalmers say the clots are found in most corpses these days, and they've never seen anything like it before. And a warning that some viewers may find the images in this report disturbing.
Several embalmers across the country told the Epoch Times they've been observing strange fibrous clots in corpses they work with. They report the phenomenon started either in 2020 or 2021. They say the clots stand out because they're exceptionally big, at a maximum as long as a human leg and as thick as a pinky finger. The embalmers also say that clots in corpses have become much more common. One embalmer said he finds them in 50 to 70% of all corpses he works with these days, up from 5 to 10% prior to the pandemic. It's not yet known if the new clots are caused by COVID-19, the vaccines, or something different. However, many of the embalmers say from what they've found, it seems like the clots are connected to the vaccine. Some doctors speculate that the spike protein used in the vaccines can cause string-like structures which the body doesn't break down. The clots found are lacking iron, potassium, magnesium, and zinc, which according to experts shows that these aren't just normal postmortem clots, because normal human blood always has those nutrients.
And earlier today, I spoke with one such embalmer, Richard Hirschman from Alabama. He tells us more about discovering these clots and what compelled him to speak out. Richard Hirschman, welcome to our show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Stefania. Glad to be here.
Now, tell me, why did you choose to share your findings?
Well, I decided to share my findings because I felt like humanity may be at stake. There's definitely something that has changed that I have noticed in the blood since the middle of last year, maybe around May or June of 2021. And it's been eating at me, and therefore I have to come out and speak to say, hey, something's wrong. Most doctors aren't going to see what I see, and I have to get it out there.
Daddy!
I thought the Boy Scouts went bankrupt. What are you selling cookies? You're actually here in the presence of somebody that actually really knows real estate.
Hey, how's that flip going? That $12 million man?
Not good. Today's your lucky day.
Oh.
You're gonna buy a $12 million house for only $9,999. I'll tell you what, $9 million right now, cash. That's a steal. What a cheapskate. Big fancy chest. He's got the 6 dwarfs with him, and he won't buy my fucking house. After I took fucking recommendations, so some of them, the ones that weren't expensive, I painted all the crown molding.
Oh, nice. But you left the kitchen?
No, the kitchen was fine. What's the matter with the 90s? You were born in the fucking 90s, weren't you?
Remember?
Are you here on a undercover secret mission? Are you now working for
We're
a
the Fed
clandestine organization?
We're the Fed boys.
Yeah.
We're here to investigate.
Fed up.
Grant Cardone just landed at your airport.
His plane was there when I took off yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Broke down.
Is it?
I don't know.
How you guys been?
Lousy!
Why? Fed? Drum
Because
call.
you, Mr. Brilliant, when you came here, how long ago was that?
Me, yeah.
If you would have said, Ben, if you don't listen to me about anything, please fix your fucking rate. But you didn't. You didn't fucking do it. And now I got to pay $6 million a year more in interest on $200+ million. If I would have been happy at 3, even though I was at 2.
Yeah.
If I was at 3, that's $6 million a year, right? 3 times 2 is 6, shorty. That's $6 million a year I was paying. I would have been happy, even though I was really only paying about 4. But I would have been happy at 3. I could have fixed it. Now it's 6+%. That's $12 million a year in interest. I need $500,000 a month out of my pocket every month to give to the bank.
But you got tenants.
Can't raise the fucking rents. They're in leases. They're not going to pay for it. They'll pay the extra tax bills on the property taxes and all the CAM. They ain't going to pay the fucking bank for me. So I'm fucked.
How's the hotel?
They're coming back, but they ain't making enough to pay that kind of money to help. And then what? I got, high cost of living here, high maintenance wife, big fancy house. I'm selling every fucking thing right now. I swear to God today, I went to the fucking dealership. He's taking my cars to the auction. The water car, take it to the fucking auction. The Batmobile, next week there's an auction in Punta Gorda. You should go there. You can buy my Batmobile, you can buy my water car, and you can buy Bob Hope's car if you remember who he was.
He was here.
I'm selling everything I can. Get rid of it. I need money, baby. Can you loan me $200 million right now, 3%?
Absolutely. Hey, Jerome.
I need a cigarette. So why are we here today? Can anybody tell me?
Interview you.
You guys are just fucking bored? Hey, let's take the jet over to Clearwater and go visit Ben. Is that what you guys do all day? Just wake up and say, hey, what are we going to fly to today?
Last year been okay otherwise? Outside
No.
the market? Outside the market?
No.
I'm all right.
My life is tied to cash flow.
Yeah.
And the cash flow is low.
Low.
So what's your plan?
My plan? Raise cash, buy down debt. It's the only thing I can think of.
How?
Well, start liquidating other assets that I have. It's not like, I'm not 100% real.
Every March, Jersey Mike's turns money from subs into charitable donations.
And March 29th is
That I have. It's not like, I'm not 100% real estate. I got stocks, I got bonds, I got,
So we're gonna liquidate first. And And
What?
Are you going to liquidate the real estate to cover the bonds and stocks, or are you going to liquidate the stocks and bonds to cover the real estate?
A little of both.
Gotcha.
It's called balancing a portfolio. Look at the assets that are not performing well.
Do you have any goals?
Everything is diversified in my life. We have everything.
So then that's systemic.
We got stuff that was a long shot, or we got where's Minaj? He knows about this shit. We got investments that, are higher risk that are doing very poorly right now. We have tax-free mini bonds that took about a 10% hit. We've got things that are tied to interest rates that have taken a big hit. But basically we're looking at everything that, does it pay to keep it? Or does it take, automatically if I go and buy down debt, that's saving 6%.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So if I have something that's not making 6%, let me take something at 4% and convert it to something that's going to help me save 6%. That makes sense. But you have to look at a lot of different aspects of it. What am I saving on taxes? Because if I go and buy down $10 million worth of real estate, well, yes, I'm saving 6%, but after you write off the
Interest. Yeah.
the interest, it's not really 6%. I'm getting a savings by writing off the interest. It has to do with depreciation. Right now, I'm looking into doing accelerated depreciation, cost segregation, things that can help me. So it's a matter of taking all these pieces and trying to put together a puzzle where all the pieces fit.
Winter is still here at Mount Rainier National Park, but the park sees 70% of their nearly 1 million yearly visitors during the summer months. And this summer, people will need to have a credit card to enter the park as they switch to a cashless fee system. Some moments in nature are priceless.
I love the mountains. I love the seasons here. I love the hiking. It's just a pretty awesome place to be.
But this is a place you do have to pay a fee to enter. Fees that Mount Rainier Public Information Officer Kevin Bacher says help maintain the park.
They help to maintain the trails, a lot of other services in the park that enhance the visitor experience and make that experience safe and comfortable.
Starting at the end of May, here at Mount Rainier National Park, you can no longer pay your entrance fee or reservations with cash.
We're going cashless pretty soon.
It's a way for us to serve the public better. We can be more efficient. We can be safer with our handling of the money that is entrusted to us.
Kevin says only 2% of people who enter the park pay with cash, but they do understand the worries some people have over accessibility.
We're definitely concerned about those folks. We want to make the parks accessible to them as well, and that's why we're working so hard to get the word out.
He says right now they're working to partner with local businesses in the towns right outside the park so people can buy passes with cash from those vendors.
Someone who only has cash can just stop at one of the businesses on the way into the park, pick up a pass, and then just breeze on through. So we want to make it as easy as possible for those who only have cash as an option.
With these changes coming at the turn of the season, Kevin hopes this new system will create a better visitor experience rather than creating barriers.
Hopefully we'll be able to get people into the park to enjoy the places that they came to see much more quickly.
Olympic National Park already has a cashless entry fee system in place. The cashless system here at Mount Rainier will go into effect on May 26th. In Mount Rainier National Park, Connor Board, King 5 News.
Our coverage you can count on begins this hour in North Augusta, where tonight the first SRP Park College Showcase baseball game will be held.
The teams from University of Georgia and Georgia Southern University will go head-to-head for this battle at the river. News Channel 6's Kim Vickers joining us live this morning. Kim, a nearly sold-out game tonight.
Yeah, Barkley, that's right. There are still some tickets left, but it's for standing room only. Fans from Athens, Statesboro, and all over the CSRA are ready for their favorite team to take the field for its first event of the season. But people who frequent SRP Park will notice something different starting tonight. The park is adopting a new cashless system, meaning only credit cards, debit cards, and digital payments like Apple Pay and Google Pay will be accepted. Brandon Green, the Green Jackets general manager, says stadiums all over the country are doing the same thing.
We think it's just going to speed up the service, speed up our lines, make things a lot easier. We have a small venue with, get a full house like tonight. The lines can get long, so we're just doing anything we can to speed up our service.
And gates will open at 5 p.m. with first pitch starting at 6:35. Marion Barkley, back to you.
So much to do in East Tennessee, including going to a Tennessee Smokies game, but they have announced a change. Starting the season, the Smokies Stadium will be a cashless venue. That means the stadium will no longer accept any cash payments. Fans can pay with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, just not money. This new policy will include the parking lot, box office, concession stands, and the team store. Now, officials with the Smokies say that they hope the new policy will help create faster lines and better customer convenience.
SeaWorld San Diego has started cashless operations. Will other local businesses follow this trend? CBS 8's Ariana Cohen went to SeaWorld to learn more and is working for you to find out those frequently asked questions on this new cashless system.
SeaWorld San Diego has switched to cashless operations, which means all you have to do is just swipe or tap your credit card, debit card, or smart device with Apple Pay or Google Pay everywhere you typically use cash. SeaWorld San Diego visitors say it makes things more convenient.
I think it's good. I mean, we hardly carry any cash anymore, and everything seems to be on card, so it works for us.
Yeah, we love it. We love everything that's not paper.
If you come to SeaWorld with only cash, they now have these new machines that allow you to convert cash to a prepaid card. All you have to do is put your cash inside the machine and you get a prepaid card that looks like this that you can use outside of the park.
I know there's some people that don't use, cards whatsoever. However, I do like the fact that there's an alternative.
I spoke with a University of San Diego economics professor who says more and more businesses are going cashless.
I think it is going to be the trend of the future. The pros as far as business is concerned is that they can reduce some of their expenses. You also get a situation where it's less likely that you're going to have theft. If you're not dealing with large amounts of cash.
However, he says there is a downside to not using cash.
The worry is that if you don't actually physically exchange cash, you may basically lose track of your spending.
Working for you, I researched a few answers to frequently asked questions about SeaWorld's new cash-to-card kiosk system. How much cash can you load onto a Visa prepaid debit card at a cash-to-card kiosk? Answer: you may load up to $500 at a time. There is no minimum amount required. How can you check the balance of the Visa prepaid debit card? Answer: you can check the balance at any cash-to-card kiosk at SeaWorld or go to rcbalance.com. What if you still have funds left on the card when you leave the park? Answer: your Visa prepaid debit card can be used anywhere Visa is accepted. I found out if you use the card regularly, you will not incur any fees. But keep in mind, after 92 consecutive days with no transactions, you will be charged $3.95 per month as long as there is still a balance on the card. SeaWorld staff tell me similar to a gift card, the debit card cannot be canceled. Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has advised the Nigerians to embrace digital banking for ease of transactions. Officials of the bank gave the advice during a sensitization for traders at major markets in Akure, Ondo State, on the need to embrace cashless platforms for transactions. They assured Nigerians that the introduction of the eNaira wallet will address the scarcity of cash and challenges faced by Nigerians. Special Assistant on Payment to the Governor of the Central Bank, Mary Fasheiton, explained that the CBN, in collaboration with the Bankers Committee, organized the sensitization for people to understand the benefits that eNaira brought to the banking system.
Here all gathered together, CBN principally, as well as all the other banks, and we're here to socialize on eNaira, to bring it to the people of Akure today. As you can see, there are many of us together in unison, and the main purpose is to socialize about eNaira so people understand all the benefits benefits that eNaira brings to the day in terms of the cashless policy?
Yes, it's a whole lot of advantages. Yeah, basically, it's to nullify the whole idea of people carrying cash around, and which is not so safe. Do you understand? So this is a good and brighter initiative for people to be able to move around freely without being scared of anything while they are still, transacting. You can do almost virtually everything on eNaira or Remitter. So all forms of payments can be done via eNaira. Okay? It's seamless and it's easy to use.
We've taken another step towards a cashless society. A big bank has confirmed customers in some locations can no longer withdraw money over the counter as branches continue to wind back services.
It's up there with the pub with no beer, the bank with no cash. ANZ has confirmed some branches no longer handle cash at the counter. Others are directing customers to smart ATMs for cash transactions. ANZ says only 8% of its customers rely solely on branches. NAB says for its customers, it's only 3%. The number of bank branches nationally dropped 30% in major cities over 5 years, from more than 3,000 to around 2,300.
It's closed down about 12 months ago, so I've got to come down to South Melbourne. And if that closes down, I don't know where I've got to go, so for checks and everything else.
It's a worldwide trend, and there are concerns it hurts disadvantaged customers the most.
Senior citizens, new migrants, people who are disabled, they do need, if you like, face-to-face help. There's a danger here of excluding some elements of our society when we talk about inclusion all the time.
The latest figures on ATMs shows the number of machines has more than halved, from almost 14,000 back in 2017 to around 6,000 in the middle of last year.
I would point out to people that cash is still very important, both as a means of payment, because if you're paying by cash, you don't get surcharged.
Emma O'Sullivan, 7 News.
We've had well over 100,000 visitors already in the first 40 days, and we've had very few complaints about being cashless. The first imperative was to provide a hygienic place to eat where you didn't have to kind of exchange notes and coins with the vendors, where you don't know where that money's been. And so cash is dirty, so we don't want it in the market. The other benefits of having a cashless environment, and particularly because of the pandemic, it's grown in popularity around the world, is safety. We've had very little instances of petty theft in our locations. You know, we've hosted millions of guests in Prague over the last 4 years, now over 100,000 here. Almost no instances of people stealing cash from the vendors or from the customers.